Hi, children of St. Michael's. It's Amanda, your seminarian, and I'm here on Easter Sunday. Happy Easter! And here, this is our final journey through Lent. This is the final day, and we are here with good news of Jesus' resurrection. So we had a coloring sheet this week in our Lent at Home kit, and this is mine. So this is what mine looks like. And if you want to color while I tell the story of Jesus' resurrection, you can go ahead. A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. The next day, that is after the preparation day, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered before Pilate and said, "Sir, we remember what that impostor said while he was still alive. After 3 days I will rise again," he said. "Therefore, command the tomb to be made secure until the 3rd day. Otherwise, his disciples may go and steal him away and tell his people, 'He has been raised from the dead.' And the last deception would be worse than the first." Pilate said to them, "You have a guard of soldiers. Go, make it as secure as you can." So they went with the guard and made the tomb secure by sealing the stone. After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descending from heaven came and rolled back the stone to the tomb and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothing was white as snow. For fear of him, the guard shook and became like dead men. But the angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid. I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here, for he has been raised. Come, see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples, 'He has been raised from the dead, and indeed he is going ahead of you to Galilee. There you will see him.' This is my message for you." So they left the tomb quickly with fear and great joy and ran to tell the disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." And they came to him, took hold of his feet, and worshiped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me." On Easter Sunday, we see two different kinds of treasures. The Roman soldiers treated Jesus' tomb like a treasure. They guarded it because it was very valuable to have Jesus' body tucked away in a tomb. If his body was in a tomb, then his message could not continue. He could not disrupt the empire any longer. But you know, that is not the end of the story. Jesus is the treasure that cannot be contained. Jesus taught good news. Jesus is good news. And that good news is more powerful than Roman soldiers. They were unsuccessful at keeping the good news locked up. So who would be first to hear the good news of Jesus' resurrection? It was two of his most dedicated followers, Mary Magdalene and Mary. An angel appeared, rolled back the stone, and shared the good news with them. Good news is an invisible treasure. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. It's like butterflies in your stomach, or it feels like a giant smile across your face. It even feels like happy tears pouring from your eyes. When Mary Magdalene and Mary learned that Jesus was alive, they were filled with these wonderful feelings. They had good news in their hearts. And and they were so excited to share it with all of the disciples. While they were on their way to share the treasured good news, they found Jesus and worshiped at his feet. But they did not stay for long. Jesus sent them on their way to deliver the message that he was alive. And that is such good news. One of the beautiful parts of following Jesus is sharing good news. We do not keep good news to ourselves. We share the joy and excitement of good news with our friends, our family, even our neighbors. Our good news can be a word of encouragement, a story of hope, a moment of joy, a trustworthy promise. Your good news to your sibling might be different from the good news to a teacher or grandparent. But when we do share our good news, we are passing on a treasure to someone else to enjoy it. So this story makes me wonder. The Bible tells us the disciples who found Jesus were both afraid and they were joyful. Have you ever felt both of those feelings together at once? If so, share that story with one of your family members. What other good news do you see in the story of Jesus? What good news do you hear from your parents or other grown-ups? Parents, what good news do you hear from your children or see in your children? What good news do you see from your church or your school? So I have an activity for you to do today on Easter or any time in the next few weeks that you'd like. I would challenge you to create a good news bulletin board. Now that can either be temporary or a permanent part of your home. Use a cork board, a whiteboard, or even a chalkboard, and make a space in your home for family members to jot down their good news. A happy message, a word of encouragement, anything that they're feeling to spread with each other to share their good news. What good news do you have to share today? Let us pray. Risen Christ, you are the best news in the world. Your love for us is the greatest treasure. We rejoice in your resurrection story. Help us find ways to share good news with the people all around us and to share the treasure far and wide.